What is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here. We are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Wednesday, November 16th slate of NBA action, man. And today is a special day. We will be doing the giveaway for 8,000 subscribers here on the channel. Man, I'm super excited to dive into it. But before we did, I did just want to go ahead and say we are still currently on the road to 9,000 subscribers now. So if you guys are new, make sure that you guys do like, comment, subscribe. Turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Next, I did just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do. And thank you guys so much for giving such a small channel such a big chance, as I always say. It truly does mean the absolute world to me. So much more than you guys will ever know. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. We have a lot to touch on today, so I want to just go ahead and dive into it, no wasting any time. So, without any further ado, let's do a quick recap as of yesterday. Not necessarily the best day, but that's perfectly fine in my opinion, because that we got our losses out of the way. Today's a new day, and it's a day that we're going to be getting some money here. So, I'm super excited to dive into it. So, we'll do a quick recap. Ended up going 1-3. Definitely a very, very tough day. We did end up having Jalen Brunson over 18.5 points versus Utah. Our one lone win of the day. Jalen Brunson, he ended up with 13, I believe, at halftime. He started off really hot, made us sweat for it a little bit there in that third quarter, but then in the fourth quarter comes through for us, so it ends up working out. Then we did have the Grizzlies and the Pelicans over 230.5. A lot of injury news came out later in this game. A lot of line movement as well. They started off red hot, both teams. They scored a lot of points there at the beginning of the game, pretty much all the way up until the fourth quarter. And then after that, both teams kind of fell off a cliff, and there was just no really coming back from it. Then we did end up having our Ja Morant over 7.5 assists versus the Pelicans at minus 135. Ja Morant just decided he wanted to score today instead. Finishes with just 4 assists. So that one did not end up working out. Then we had John Wall, under 20.5 PRAs. He ended up with 3 at halftime. He was at 3 PRAs going into the third quarter. He ends up with 18 PRAs in the third quarter alone, so it ends up hitting the over solely. So, it definitely was a tough day. I ended up going 1-3 on our plays, but hopefully we can bounce back from that. I truly think that we can. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it, shall we? So for our King's Kill Shot play of the day, we are going to be taking D'Angelo Russell under 2.5 rebounds here versus the Magic at plus 100 odds. Now, I like this for a couple different reasons. First things first, Orlando, they do allow the 8th fewest rebounds per game to opposing point guards, so they don't really allow a lot of rebounds to that point guard position. And he has also gone under in 4 straight games, so he hasn't really been going for those rebounds. He's been a really great playmaker and a decent scorer here recently, but he has not been able to get those rebounds, so that's what I do like about it. Also, Orlando's a pretty slow-paced team compared to this Minnesota team. They are 20th when it comes to pace, so I think that does speak a lot of volume. Going to be slowing this game down here for the Timberwolves, so I think it's a pretty good spot to target. Also, Orlando does allow the 3rd fewest rebounds per game to opposing teams just in general, so they don't really give up a lot of rebounds. One of the best rebounding teams here in the NBA currently, and it truly does make sense. If you take a look at it, they do have some long, lengthy players out there. They do have Franz, they do have Wendell Carter Jr., and they do have Bol Bol. So with that being said, it makes sense why these players are not really getting a lot of rebounds. They have really good rebounders on this roster, and I think that it is going to play an impact when it comes to D'Angelo Russell's under as well. And if you look at it from the Minnesota side, they have a bunch of beasts out there too. They have Karl-Anthony Towns, 7-footer, really good rebounder. Gobert, obviously, tremendous rebounder. And even Jaden McDaniels. I know he's not necessarily the best rebounder, but he is another long, lengthy body. And I forgot to mention Paolo Banchero for the Magic as well. Dude's been fantastic. And he's a very athletic, very fun player to watch. But he's a good rebounder too. He's definitely nothing to mess around with. So he's been very, very solid as well. So that is going to be our King's Kill Shot play of the day. I love this play. D'Lo under 2.5 rebounds here versus the Magic at plus 100 odds. Now for our second play of the day, we're going to be taking the Hawks plus 1.5 here versus the Celtics at minus 110. I know that the Celtics have been very, very solid, but I think that this is a spot that the Hawks can get it done. Now hear me out. Obviously, I don't mind the money line in this situation either, for if you wanted to go for a little bit of plus value. But Atlanta is 1-0 against the spread as a home underdog, which is why I really love this bet. The Hawks, they play very good basketball at home, and I think that it's a good spot to target. And Boston is also 3-4 against the spread when it comes to being a road favorite, so they do play a little bit better basketball at home, which definitely makes sense. But Boston's a little bit worse on the road, especially as a road favorite, so which is why I do truly like this one. But another one, the history backs this one up, and which is, I love these type of plays. But the Hawks, they have won their last 3 matchups between these two teams in Atlanta. So the last 3 matchups between the Hawks and the Celtics that have been played in Atlanta, Atlanta has actually won the game outright, which is what I love as well. Marcus Smart is questionable here for the Celtics. Obviously, Malcolm Brogdon is still going to be out, and Robert Williams is going to be out. So with this line being plus 1.5, I think that the Hawks can get it done here. I truly think they can win, too. I mean, the Celtics are on a 7-game winning streak right now. They are due a loss at any point. It's going to be a tough matchup here versus the Hawks. So I do like this for our second play of the day. We're going to be riding with it. Hawks plus 1.5 here versus the Celtics at minus 110 odds. Now for our third play of the day, we're going to be taking SGA over 4.5 rebounds here versus Washington at plus 100 odds. Now he has only hit the over in 1 of his last 4 games, but in 2 of those games he did end up finishing right at 4, so he finished right on the hook. I think he can get that 5th one here today. Washington, they do allow the 6th most rebounds per game to opposing shooting guards, so they give up a lot of rebounds to that shooting guard position. He has also hit the over in 4 out of his 6 career games here versus Washington. So the history does back this one as well. And Trey Mann is going to be out. We could see a couple extra minutes here for SGA. I don't know exactly if he will get those minutes or not, but it is another body that's not going to be out there that could potentially be taking rebounds away from SGA. And some of the teams that he has played recently have been pretty good, like rebounding teams just in general. Washington Wizards are not really that. I don't really foresee anybody going to be taking these rebounds away from SGA, so I do think it's a pretty good spot to target. So that is going to be our third play of the day. SGA over 4.5 rebounds here versus Washington at plus 100 odds. Now for our fourth and final play of the day, we're going to be taking the Rockets plus 10 here versus the Mavericks at minus 110. This is just a really large number to be laying on a Rockets team that has actually been pretty good against the spread. The Mavericks, they have actually not covered in 8 straight games, so they have really struggled here against the spread, and I think it's a good spot to target here truly. The Rockets, they are 6-7-1 against the spread and 5-5 against the spread on the road. That's pretty decent. It's, pretty much 500, pretty much a coin flip. But Dallas is just 1-5-1 against the spread at home this year. They have not been a very good home team and just not a very good team when it comes to covering the spread in general. Dallas is going to be coming off of a back-to-back versus a very grit and grind Clippers team. The game was super, super low scoring if you guys did end up watching that. But between the last 12 matchups between these two teams, from the games that have been played in Dallas, the Rockets have covered in 11 of them. So you talk about history being on our side. I think that this one screams the history being on our side. So I do think it's a pretty great spot to target here. So we're going to be riding with it for our fourth and final play of the day. Rockets plus 10 here versus the Mavericks at minus 110 odds. Now, as I had mentioned, we do have the parlay here. And it's a huge parlay. An absolutely tremendous electric parlay. I'm super excited to dive into it. But I'm going to go ahead and talk about how you can enter it into it as well. So it is going to be a parlay giveaway. If you guys have been around for a long time, I've been doing these pretty much since I was at 1,000 subscribers. Shout out Calling Our Shot, of course. When I was trying to figure out what I was going to do for 1,000, somebody had put in the comment section that I should do a parlay giveaway. So I messaged Austin from Calling Our Shot, and he said that it was a pretty great idea, and I've been pretty much doing it ever since. So I think that this is a really great idea overall. I'm not taking credit for it. Obviously, I was not the first one to do it, but here's how it's going to work. So I do have a parlay that has a payout of $8,000, okay? Now, obviously, odds are this probably will not hit. So not only am I giving away I'm not giving away 8,000, excuse me. Not only am I giving away $1,000 out of the parlay. If it ends up hitting, if it doesn't end up hitting, I will be giving away $20 for every bet that I lose tomorrow. So, got a lot of stuff riding here, got a lot going on, but I'll be giving out potentially $80 to you guys if I end up losing every single bet for the official plays, and if I end up somehow cashing out on this crazy parlay, then I'll be giving away $1,000 to one of you guys. So, got a lot riding tomorrow. Hopefully, we can have a good day. All you have to do to be able to enter it is 1, like the video. Very simple, very easy. 2, make sure that you are subbed. Yes, I will be checking those things. 3, you just have to make a comment. It doesn't matter what it is. It can be anything, literally whatever it wants. You could put your favorite play of the day. You could put your favorite team. You could put where you're from. I don't really care what you put. It just has to be in the comment section, so that way I can go through and do a random comment picker, and we can get all that figured out. So I'm super excited. I'm really, really excited. But this video has been super long, so let's go ahead and dive into it. It's parlay time. We got the glasses on. You know what that means. It means business, ladies and gentlemen. So let's go ahead and dive into this crazy parlay. Let me flash it up here on the screen. Woo! This is a big parlay, but crazy as it sounds, I could see a world where it ends up hitting. So let's go ahead and talk about each of the legs. First one, Plumlee, double-double versus the Pacers, plus 210. Obviously, I was way wrong on Plumlee a couple nights ago. I took his under in rebounds, and he burned me on it. He had a fantastic game. Dude's been hooping here recently. I guess I should have just been, I should have just known this is the new Plumlee right now. He's on that wave. He's hit the over in 3 of his last 4. Pacers allowed the second most points per game to opposing centers, so we just have to worry about those rebounds. I think he can get there. Next leg, we have D'Lo, under 2.5 rebounds. I already touched on this in the official play, of course, but I do like that one quite a bit. We have SGA, over 4.5 rebounds. Once again, already touched on this in the official plays. The Atlanta Hawks, I'm taking their money line, plus 105. They have been very solid in their last 3 matchups in Atlanta. Like I said, they have actually won against the Celtics. So, I do like that one, but I already touched on that one as well. Rockets, plus 9.5. Already touched on this one in the official play as well, but I think it's another good spot. Then I took Steph, over 4.5 threes here versus the Suns. If you take a look at his last 3 games versus the Suns, he's had 4, 5, and 6 threes in his last 3 games versus Phoenix, and he's attempted over 10 multiple matchups here versus Phoenix. So we're just asking him to make 5. I know that sounds crazy, just asking him to make 5, but it is Steph Curry at the end of the day. Dude shoots a ton, and they haven't been blowing anybody out. It's a big matchup, and Steph is going to have a big night for sure. Then I'm taking the Heat and the Raptors over 215. I like this because the Raptors' defense without Siakam has been really, really bad. And with that being said, the Heat, it's not like their defense has been fantastic by any stretch of the imagination either. So we're looking at 2 pretty bad defenses, and I think that these offenses definitely can get it done. Hopefully some of the Raptors' injuries do end up getting cleared up as well. That would definitely help this one for sure. Then I'm taking my Chicago Bulls to tuck us in. The last leg, Bulls, plus 3.5 here versus Pelicans. The Bulls always play so much better versus good teams. Anytime the Bulls are against a bad team, chalk it up. We're losing. We're losing outright. It doesn't even matter what it is. But put us against a good team, we actually stand a chance. And I think that we can do that here versus the Pelicans. I know that one's kind of sketchy, but let's be honest. It's a parlay. It's not supposed to hit. It's definitely just something that is kind of for fun, but hopefully it ends up hitting. That would be absolutely electric. That would be awesome. But $19 to turn into 80 or 8,000. So that's just absolutely fantastic. Hopefully we can hit this. So that is going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, and turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, if you want to enter into the giveaway, all you have to do, like the video, subscribe to the channel, and put down a comment no matter what it is. It does not matter under any stretch of the imagination what it is. You just have to comment something. So, without any further ado, That's going to do it for me. This is King Sanders signing out. Peace.